All right. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm calling from local market and tip site. I appreciate you guys attending. Today we got a real treat. Today, one of the leading cupcake and wedding cake designers in Berks County here in Central PA agreed to get an interview with us on camera. Let us know a little bit about herself, about her shop, and also about what she did to take her business to the next level. So you guys want to stick around and definitely take notes, because this is about business owners surviving in these times, days and times. So here's Ady. Ady is I saw Ady actually on Cupcake Wars, and I didn't know that she her shop was right here in Pennsylvania. I didn't even know that. So passing by here, my daughter wanted to come here, cupcakes, and I got the idea of let's put her on camera because I see it everywhere. I see it in Red and Eagle. That's the local newspaper out here. I see it in magazines. So I just want to get a quick background on you, Ady. First of all, how you doing?
Thank you. Good. I'm doing well. Thank you for having us.
Great.
Here. Thank you for giving my little business the opportunity to be on your channel.
Well, thanks. Give me a background. Where are you originally from?
I am originally from the Dominican Republic. I moved to the United States about almost 12 years ago. And here in Reading, I've been living for about 11 years almost.
Great. And 11 years in Berks County?
Yes.
Okay. You like Berks County?
I do. It's a quiet town. West Reading actually is a quiet town, but it's a nice place to be. It is. I like it.
Okay. How did you get into baking?
I actually, my background is not in baking. I am actually an industrial engineer.
Oh.
And I was working for several manufacturers, companies around Berks County. So I always wanted to have my own business. I just couldn't figure out what I wanted to do to have my own company, my own business. I only wanted to do something by myself. So out of nowhere, so I was watching TV and I see somebody doing some baking. I'm like, you know what, let me do that. Basically out of curiosity.
Okay.
And then baking came really natural to me. But the decorating part was the one that was trickier. You have to have a little bit of art inclination, I would say, to the art part of the decorations.
Okay.
So that was the thing that I found the most intriguing when it comes to this kind of business.
Okay.
So basically, out of curiosity, I just started doing my own thing. I figured I would see a wedding cake, and I would say, oh, I can do better.
Wow.
Then I started just doing things by myself, reading books. Just pretty much completely self-taught.
Ambitious.
Very much.
I get that.
Very much. I am incredibly, scarily ambitious, I would say.
So, in retrospect, and seeing all of the popular cupcake stores popping up everywhere, the program Cupcake Wars.
Yes.
What do you think? What do you attribute to the rise of such a popularity in cupcakes and wedding cakes and things of that nature these days?
Yeah, as the war progresses and things are getting more customized, I believe it's the fact that now you can do your own thing and customize the cake, that part of the wedding to your own style. That's what gets people attention, because back in the day, it's all the wedding cakes that look the same. Before I got into this business, I didn't even know you can customize your cake. I thought you can pick from model A, B, and C. You pick one of the three, and that's it. And it was all white, and it was all vanilla.
Right.
Then I started paying attention. I said, no, actually, you can do pink, and you can do yellow, and you can do butterflies if you want in your cake. It doesn't have to be the same kind of thing. So the fact that people can put their own spin into that part of the wedding or birthday party or whatever the occasion is, that's what is becoming more attractive to people. I started my business before the cupcake craze, which is a good thing because it actually keeps me.
Wow.
I did not start my business because everybody else was doing it. Like nowadays, there's cupcake shops popping out in every corner because everybody else is doing it.
Wow.
But when I started the business 5-6 years ago, nobody around here was doing anything like this. So I started doing it because I liked it, because I enjoy it, because I could do my own thing and create kind of art with the food, and it was no about the pressures of everybody's just doing it, so I'm gonna do it, or I'm gonna hire people to bake, do the baking and do the artwork, and then just own the business. I did it because I liked the artistry that was part of the products. When it comes to cupcakes, what is more attractive to people, I think, is because first of all, a cupcake is inexpensive compared to other things.
Right.
If you go to an ice cream shop, you can usually you only go in the summer. Cupcake, you can eat them all year round.
Oh.
They're a lot less expensive than an ice cream. Like if you go to a major brand ice cream shop,
Evergreen.
it's going to be kind of pricey if you order like a fancy kind of thing. Cupcakes, you can get cupcakes depending on where you go to from $2 to $3.50 the most.
Okay.
My cupcakes, they average at $2.50 a piece.
Okay.
$2.50 for a normal person, even with a low income job. If you do it once a week, it's a treat, and it's an inexpensive treat. Also, you can, if you have a birthday party, you don't have to bake for a couple of hours and use your time doing the baking and messing up your kitchen. You can always pay $24 for a dozen cupcakes, get 12 different flavors. If you do it at home, you have to bake 12 times to create 12 different flavors. When you go to a cupcake shop, they're already done. You can get whatever flavors you want, and they're inexpensive compared to the things that you can get.
So remember, if you want a birthday party, come to Ady's. Listen, she just gave you the rundown on why it's so inexpensive to come here, and also the time saving. The time saving is definitely a factor.
Yes.
So I see that you're ambitious. I see that you also, being that you was here before the trend, before it even started. So it's safe to say that you're a trendsetter.
Yes, I believe when I first started my business, there was a couple of people doing wedding cakes. Well, they're very traditional people that have been in business for a long time, which I commend them because they do have a style. It is a style that people have seen through the years, but it's a style that still people like. So they're in business. They will be in business for a long time as well. But when I first started my business, the kind of cakes that I do, there are no being made here in the area. There's nobody else that was doing the kind of cakes that I do.
Oh, wow.
If you see my cake, they're very intricate. They're really unique. Each design is different from the other. When I do have an appointment, a consultation with the customer, I want to make sure that they get the cake that they envision. I don't like, even though I repeat a bunch of styles that I do, but I like to do the cake for the customer and the customer only. Make sure that the cake that you order, nobody else in the world is going to have it.
Customization.
So it's customization, doing something unique. People feel special when you create something just for them. People feel special, even though they will spend more money than going to a grocery store. But what I like to create is memories. When people talk about the cakes that I've done, they say, "Oh my God, I remember the cake." And I usually tell people, I usually see literally hundreds of people every week, hundreds of customers that come to my shop every week.
I know.
But I tell people,
I see
they say, "Oh, you did my cake 5-6 years ago," and I always say, "What did your cake look like?" And when they describe the cake to me, I remember everything about the cake.
Wow.
Because each cake is, if I say, "Oh, it's the whatever style cake," and it's something that I do every single week, there is nothing unique to the cake. But when they tell me, "Oh, my cake had these butterflies and this other style," I'm like, "Oh yeah, I remember that cake. That was vanilla and a pink champagne." I remember everything about the cake because it was unique for that customer, and that's what makes it special.
Wow. So you segued into my question, and my question is, why would someone shop with you as opposed to shopping with your competitors? And I think you just answered is customization, because people, individuals, do like to feel special.
Yes, absolutely.
We feed the ego of individuals. I mean, that's what it is. That's what
at the end of the day,
does.
At the end of the day, it's creating memories.
Obviously,
memories. The cake has to be good because at the end of the day, it's food. Yes, it is a cake, but you can get a good cake anywhere. Like there's a lot of people doing a great job around here, and I recognize that. But when it comes to the artwork, that's something that not everybody can do. You can teach somebody how to bake, but you cannot teach somebody how to be creative.
Wow.
That's for sure. So first, we do make great quality cakes. We stand by our product 1,000%. somebody that eats my cake, they come back year after year. I have done people's engagement parties, and then I do the weddings, and then they do the baby shower cake for the same couple, and do the first year old cake for the baby. I've done cakes for families for literally years because the flavor and the quality of the cake itself is there. On top of that, then the fact that the cake is so memorable and pretty and beautiful, that's what sets me apart from everybody else around here. I don't think anybody else around here is doing the kind of work that I do. No, by miles.
Great point. Very confident also.
Well, yeah.
Well, the one thing that I want to get to is your competition on Cupcake Wars.
Yes.
And did you win in that series?
Of course
also?
we did.
You won, right? So like I said in beginning, that I did see Ady on Cupcake Wars, and that's a real popular show that comes on national television.
Mm-hmm.
And tell me about that. How did you come to participate in that?
As you know, Cupcake Wars, the competition is 3 rounds of competition. There's 4 competitors, 4 teams of 2 people each from all over the country. So they pick those 4 teams. They pick people that are great in business, that are doing well in business, people that their products, a good representation of good cupcakes. I got contacted by the producers like a year before we went to do the show. A little over a year after, before we did the show. So they call me and they say, oh, they're producers from the show, are you interested? And I said, absolutely, 100%. I know there's a lot of things that go into making the show, but I know based on product alone, I know 1,000% sure that my product was good enough to be in the show.
Okay.
So after I'm like, okay, let's get it done. Then they say they just want to know if I was interested or not. They didn't call me for months. And they call me again. They say, oh, we want to make sure that you're still interested. We have a new show coming up. If you want to do like an audition tape, just want to see how you look on TV, how you interact with your assistant,
right.
Just bring an assistant. So I'm like, okay, we'll do it. So we did the audition tape. We sent it to them. It was something super quick, nothing fancy. They don't require anything fancy. They just want to see where you work, how do you talk, and how you interact with your partner. So we sent the video, and a couple of days later, they said, you're in. So they took us to California and competed, and we got a trip. Yeah.
Wow. Now, it seemed like that's a high stress
very much
competition. I seen a lot of running around, and I seen one thing that stood out for me was, and that's not just from you, but from the other competitors, is take charge.
Yes. That definitely is not for the faint of heart. You have to be sure of what you're doing. I'm a person that gets things done. I don't care how you do it. I really don't want to hear it. Just get it done. That's my motto in anything that I do in my life. I don't care about any of the noise around the facts. Get it done. Right here, if you work with me one day, you'll see. I'll probably make you cry. We're really fast-paced, stressful, busy business.
Okay.
So somebody that either works for me or goes to that kind of competition, you have, because there is a time limit. Even when you work in the business, in the shop, in the daily operations, you just can't sitting there thinking of how you're going to solve this and this problem. You have to get things done. At the end of the day, things have to be done. Product has to be delivered to the customer.
Absolutely.
Product has to be delivered to those judges. So that's the way that I approach that.
Okay.
There's a lot of things to happen because the show, no matter how much you prepare for the show, there's a lot of things that you're never in a million years think will happen to you. And that is the day that bad things happen. Okay. Like the batter doesn't come out the way you expected, or the butter isn't working well.
I saw that in it.
And there's so many things that in a normal day that wouldn't happen because you were in your element. It's a television set, so you cannot even find things in the kitchen. You get lost. What is the? I couldn't find some knife to peel an orange, and I was like, oh my god, what am I gonna? It wouldn't happen, and I lost time during the competition doing that. They didn't show that, but I'm like, oh my god, what the microplate? I couldn't find. I'm like, what is the microplate? I spent like 50 minutes.
I think I did see.
I'm like, oh my god, like that wouldn't happen in normal day.